So in this video, what we'd like to do is if you're a non-GIS user, you've never used GIS or installed GIS, I want to just get you up and running with a free open source GIS, QGIS, and show you how quick that can be. So you can go to the download on QGIS's website. There's a link there. And the first thing they kind of highlight is this OSGeo4W network installer. This does a whole bunch of other stuff, tends to take a little longer. If you're just getting going, and actually this is all I ever use too, just go to this QGIS standalone installer version 3, whatever the latest version is there. So you can download that. I've actually already done that. So here I've got this downloaded. I'm going to show this in my folder. And what I'll do is go ahead and install that. Now it's a little over a gig, so depending on your network speed, takes a few minutes to download. And then we're just gonna run that little installer. Now I'm showing this installation on Microsoft Windows. The nice thing about QGIS is it also works for Mac OS X as well as Linux, and so you can actually run this on any of those platforms. Okay, so here is that QGIS. So I'm just going to go ahead and the installer. It's actually on my other screen here, so give me a second and I'll drag it over when it lets me. Okay, so pretty simple, just like most of these things. Bunch of nexts, signing your life away, defaults. Oh, and while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and start the stopwatch just so we can see how long this has taken us. And hit install. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause while this runs. Okay, so actually I have to confess I was spacing out. The first 30 seconds I didn't authorize the install. And then I don't know how long, so it's under 3.5 minutes, probably under 2.5 minutes, but that's where we're at. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit finish, and let's see what we've got. So I can come down to Q. There's the new, right? And so I can just start it up right there. I'm actually going to, I like to have mine on my taskbar down here. Install that there. The little splash screen, first time when it's restoring stuff can take a little time. It's on my other screen right now. So here we are, a whopping 3 minutes into the installation, and boom, I've got a free, powerful GIS right here. So I've just opened up a blank map. In my case, I actually already have what is the toolbar here because I had it in a previous version of Q. So I'm going to quickly go to plugins and to my installed plugins, and I'm going to uninstall that. So now it's gone, just so that we're at the same spot. What you'll do is go to Manage and Install Plugins, because you won't have had that like I had, and you can search. If you start doing a search for Riverscapes, you'll see it down here, and it's listed, and then you just hit Install. And within 15 seconds, we're ready to go. So now I have QRAVE, I have a GIS, and even if I've never done anything in GIS, we've got some, there's tons of great help resources and tutorial videos. We can get you going. So first thing we need is a data set. So I'm going to come back to my browser, and I'm going to go to data.riverscapes.xyz. And if you don't have an account, you can make one. And then once you're in, you can grab stuff from different programs. So if I just went to public data here and I grabbed this Riverscapes confinement project, it's a pretty big one, context project, 870 megabytes. So I'm downloading that. And so we're keeping an eye on the clock. We're still under 5 minutes. Let's see, most of my time is just indecision here. Where do I want to store this? I'm going to put it, actually, I'll put that, no, I'll put it over here. Okay, so nice thing is it actually is already started doing the download while I'm being indecisive. Okay, so now we have that zip file of a Riverscapes project, okay? Don't know any GIS, I'm just unzipping this thing, okay? Whoops. So it unzipped it to this Riverscape context folder, okay? So a whole bunch of stuff in here, but all I have to do is come back to Q and come back to my little toolbar here, and I'm gonna browse to wherever that I put that stuff was. So I think it was here. And I open that project, okay? Riverscapes project. It's always going to be project.rs.xml. So, boom, it's opened up there, and there's this QRAVE toolbar. You can bring it out or you can dock it. And in here is basically the contents of this project that I just opened right there. Now, Rave also just has a bunch of shortcuts for adding things like Google Imagery, if you prefer Google Terrain, to turn off that, to get that. So that's what it's grabbed. And then this project came in with this default view. It looks like we've got, whoops. I'm going to drag the display order up in my little layer manager over here. Come on. There we go. A little finicky. And so this is a project. So we can load up a topography view. So this topography view is showing me DEM, hillshade. I've got some channels here. I've got all sorts of other things. I could bring in the intermittents. I could bring in the ephemerals if I wanted to. There's transportation, I could bring in the roads, I could bring in the railroads, et cetera, right? So these things are all just contextual layers that are in one of these Riverscape projects. Maybe I'm looking at a HUC 8 watershed, an 8-digit HUC, and if I want to see, well, what are the tens, the smaller sub-watersheds that make this thing up? We can go in and we can take a look at these things. So here we are. So far, I've rambled on for 7 minutes and 55 seconds. In that time, what have we done? We've downloaded QGIS, a GIS, and we can pan around, scroll in and out to zoom. And if you want to learn more of these commands, there's all sorts of help resources for you. But we've also installed the Rave toolbar, which basically allows us to open and explore Riverscapes projects. All we've looked at is Riverscape context, and of course there's all sorts of models and tools that are available in that Riverscapes warehouse where we grabbed this from. And so that's a quick and dirty. You're in GIS and you're accessing Rave.